Hello everyone, this is Dan with Arcade Funcade. Today we wanted to show you guys the Megacade that we were working on. And this machine was completely transformed. I want to do a little walk around here. It was completely transformed, and this machine was brought in, shipped in from California. We just had, it was completely destroyed. There was a lot of parts inside that just messed up, and the owner decided to completely go and do an overhaul on this guy. So we added our own control panels and stickers. And these top stickers came with the machine, and this control panel was completely rebuilt. We removed it and we replaced every button and joystick and everything on this guy. So we put some nice chromed out buttons, chrome ring buttons with different colors. We have an escape button, a player one start, coin button, a start button here, and another coin button, start button, and a left mouse click button here. And we have a little 2.25 inch, 2.5 inch trackball, and 6 buttons per player. So we have that guy. So we ended up doing with this control panel. This was originally played as a 2-player, so they could be playing on this screen and a secondary screen if they liked. And then we had a system that was set up that had a player 1 and player 2 side, which was a 16-1. It was actually a 4-12-1. And what we ended up doing is that we eliminated the head-to-head series of it. And what we did is we installed a computer system to be able to run 55,000 games. But what we did is we incorporated a 4-player operating system. So that way we were able to play 4-player games like NBA Jam, Sunset Riders, which is like a 3-player game, Battletoads, Captain America, the Avengers, WrestleFest. I mean, there was so many games out there. And NFL Blitz, I mean, you name it. And what we ended up doing is that we took these controllers and we wired them to an iPack 4-pack system. So what we ended up doing is making this guy your player 1, your player 2 like normal, but then we also made this side your player 3, and this side your player 4. So when you're playing, you could add coins. Your left side is your coin button, and your right side is your start button. And same on this guy. We have a coin button here and a start button on this side. So each one of them has a function. You could also play Gauntlet, Gauntlet 2, Gauntlet Legends, Gauntlet Dark Legacy. And there's so many games. And we did notice that with those games like Gauntlet, you absolutely need to have your own coin button on your control panel. Otherwise, player 1 and 2 cannot coin you up. You have to coin in and then press the magic button or push button. The attack button to be able to jump in the game and start going. So that's something that we had to do and kind of configure. And we did a lot to this guy. And I wanted to show you a little walk around on how to turn this guy on and off and some of the internals. We have an on and off button in the back. You simply hold it to turn it on and hold it to turn it off. That's the simplest, smoothest way to turn this guy off. We also have a Xbox little controller here, and that's for your Xbox One controller. There's a little button on the side here, so if you ever want to change out your controller, you just hold the button until this guy blinks, and it'll blink away and it'll connect to your machine. You have a little video card back here, and you have an HDMI cord. I'm going to turn the light on here. A little HDMI cord that's leaning around the back, and it's going to this HDMI splitter. So we have HDMI out on this fella, and we provided this lasso-looking HDMI cord, which is like a 25-footer. So you can just plug in one end to this guy, to that guy there, and the other end just run it out to a TV. So we have our hard drive here, so it's an easy repair. If something happens to the hard drive, you just simply disconnect it, take out the hard drive, throw another one in there, and that's really cool. So we want to show all the wiring. We want to show that none of the wiring's on top of this fan. We want to make sure that nothing's on top of this guy. But you also have an easy removal if anything happens. You could easily pop out the power supply. All this stuff is stuck down really well. Pop it out, and you have just take out these power cords. You have 4 screws, one on each one of these feet, and there's one in each corner, and it's an easy pop out issue. So if anything happens, if there's any issue with this guy, you just pop it out and just send it back. We also have this guy. This is our iPack we're talking about. Without this guy, the 4-player machines would not be able to be happening. And we have the Ultimark from the iPad 4 from Ultimark. These come from the UK, so these are really nice. We've been using them for several years, and they've been really, really awesome. We also have a little USB port here that we have our keyboard connected to, and we have our iPad 4 connected to. So these guys have to be connected as you see them there, and that way when the customer sees it or receives it, you want to make sure that all that stuff's connected. And all these guys as well. This is your hard drive connection. It's your SATA wire, and you want to make sure that none of these wires actually touch the fan. So that's one of those deals. You want to make sure nothing's touching before we turn the machine on. Well, when it arrives, you never know what's going to be misplaced or placed to wherever it's going to be. Just things fly around during the shipping. So anyway, I wanted to get back to the machine. So there's several things that we noticed with this guy. There's a lot going on with this fella with the games. I mean, there's as soon as you come in, you could do. We always try to stay away from using the keyboards, but because of this guy having so many games, and it's just so much easier to just search for games this way. You can actually search for a specific game by going to search. You press enter on the keypad, and you go up here, and you can just write a game in, like Gauntlet, and then you press down on the joystick or on a directional pad, either one, and you highlight search, and you simply press enter, and it'll come up with all of the gauntlets that are available on this machine. So it has it for it'll show every system and every year, and even a little video of the gameplay. So if you're looking for a specific one, like you see this guy has a cartridge of Atari on it, so you'll be able to see that specific game on there. You have the Atari Lynx, the Commodore 64 version. That's the Gauntlet, the deeper dungeons. That's pretty rad. Gauntlet 2, Gauntlet 3, the Final Quest. Is that it? Run of the Gauntlet. You have Gauntlet 2 on the MAME. You have Gauntlet 1, Play Choice Gauntlet, Gauntlet Legacy, Gauntlet 2, Gauntlet Legends, Nintendo 64 Gauntlet Legends. So it has every Gauntlet available here. It just shows you every single one that's around. Oh my gosh, it's a part 4 Gauntlet. Awesome. So even PlayStation. So every system on here. So it shows a whole listing of everything you're looking for. So that's really cool. We're gonna exit out of this guy and go back to the menu and show you guys some of the options. So you have that's the regular MAME. So I'm gonna jump into that really quick. And this is primarily where you want to be. This is where all of the arcade games are going to be. There's going to be a ton of arcade stuff. Every arcade game that's coin operated is going to be in this system, and then you can literally go in this guy. We're going to jump into a game like Centipede. I want to show you guys a trackball version, just like Battletoads. Oh, and to speed through, you could hold the directional button and press the C. You could also use the joystick to go up and down, left and right. So once you have this letter up, you press left and right in the joystick, and you can just jump to whatever letter you like, and you simply press start, and it jumps into the C's. And you just use the joysticks, and you go down to, I'm going down to Centipede here. I think I just passed it up. Sure did. All right, we're going to jump into that guy. I want to show you guys a trackball, how it works. I got this glare up there. So anyway, okay, so we have our coin for player 1 and our coin for player 2, which is the little green buttons. So we're just going to coin up. You can see the credits piling up there. And we're just going to press the start button, and you can see the game start up. And with a little trackball, you can see this guy just start moving around. So we're using the first button and the trackball here. So obviously with one hand, it's not easy. We're going to do our best. So, all right. So we wanted to show you guys a little bit of the gameplay. Now here's another thing. We wanted to be able to utilize the full screen on this guy. The full screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to escape the game by pressing the little escape button here. Escape, exit, whatever it is. And we're going to jump to Ms. Pac-Man. So that's one of the machines that we wanted to be able to keep working the way it's supposed to. So Ms. Pac-Man, I think I should have just jumped to the ends, which you could just jump by pressing left or right on the joystick. So it makes it a lot faster. And work our way down. There it is. All right. So I'm going to go to Ms. Pac-Man and jump into this guy. And you're going to notice that this guy is sideways. And that's the whole idea. To be able to use a full 36 or 32-inch screen on this guy, we wanted to be able to play like normal. So what we're doing is that we're going to be putting some coins in here. Okay, the coins are on the right. And we press start. No, now if you want to play a 2-player game, you can just press the start button on this guy. And that turns on your 2-player, first and second player. So now we can play here. We could play Miss Pac-Man on this guy, head to head. And you could always rotate this guy back. So there's another thing I'm going to do right now. While we're playing, you can press tab on the screen, and it'll always show on this side. And you go down to video options, press enter, and you can see that we have it rotated at a 90-degree angle. So all you do is press enter, right, and you can flip it back to where it's at. So you press it back to cocktail table, it'll go back to cocktail table mode. And if you press right, it'll just keep flipping it until it lands where you want it to be. So that's all you need to do. You could just leave it where you like, leave it as is or whatever. And it's really cool. So it's a really, really cool to have so many options. There's a lot of options with this guy and a lot of ideas. There's so much stuff to do on this game. There's so many things to learn on this game. Slider options. You have a master volume on this guy. You always want to go back to where it says return previous menu, press start. Your dip switches per game, you go inside. And every game has this. You go to adjust your lives, your bonus lives, your difficulty, your cabinet, your style of cabinet, cocktail mode. You could reset your game and jump in and out. You could also set your coins. We don't have any coins in the system. But yeah, so even this guy, the input per machine. So here's how we set up these guys to be able to play left to right and side to side down here. So you could still play from this side, which is really cool. So if you flip it, you want to just put this machine on a wall-mounted TV and play Pac-Man on a wall-mounted TV. You could do that. You could just flip the image right back to where it was. So it's not long-wise. And you'll still be able to see it down here. So that HDMI splitter we have in the back down there, that guy that has the HDMI out, you could plug that in. It has two HDMI out outputs. And you could run 2 TVs on it at the same time. If you want to upgrade it, you could do 4 TVs at the same time if that's necessary. If you feel that's necessary, you can make that happen. But if it's not, well then just leave it as is. We're going to jump out of this guy, and we're going to just keep going. And then another thing, a lot of people ask about how to figure out the games. So like, I'm just going to jump into a random game here. And how do you figure out the button configuration per game? So there's certain games that have certain button layouts, and sometimes they don't work with like player 3 and 4, being that you have to go in. So you have to go input general, and you go to player, let's say player 3. And in here, it shows you what every button should do. And this is where you could configure any one of these control buttons to your buttons. So if you could see, you can see this guy where it says player 3 start. It says number enter. What we usually do is we press the enter button here to change it. We press enter, and then we press the number 4. So for start, we usually have number 4. Yeah, I'm sorry, for select, for coin, we put that as number 4. And for player 4, I'm gonna go back, we usually put number 5. So if you ever want to make any changes, you can make a couple of changes that way. You just you press the enter button, it'll highlight it, and you could do that. So we'll do one right here really quick. It says up or down. We'll play, you know what? Well, we're gonna, to not mess anything up, I'm gonna go down to this machine. So if you make a change and you do it on this machine, it'll only be for this game. It won't do it for every single system. So if you go to this machine, it'll only show player 1, player 2. So you could do any options you like on there, and it won't affect any other game systems. But if you do it on the other guy, you make any changes on this other fella on the general input, then that's gonna mess with everything. That's gonna be a whole different deal. So you always want to stay messing around with just that one game, and just make changes to one game per game if ever you want to need to do anything. And if you mess it up, you don't be afraid of testing out the machine, pushing it to its limits, testing stuff, moving stuff around. If anything goes wrong, or you figure something and you're like, holy crap, I messed something up, no big deal. All you do is just let us know, give us a call, and what we do is you can just take off your hard drive, ship it back to us. We could reprogram it and send it right back, and or just send you another one. So we figure it all out. If you guys have any questions about that, just let us know. We provide hard drives and upgrades and updates for people's systems, so that's pretty cool. We can also help you with your own hyperspin system. If something messes up, it's running off a rocket launcher and hyperspin, so that's kind of neat. So we're going to show NBA Jam Tournament Edition. We're going to jump on this guy. It's one of our favorite games, and it's a shop favorite, and it's a customer favorite. So we're going to show this guy loading up, and we're going to start coining this fella up. And fortunately, we can coin it up with one button. So with one of these guys down here, player 1, player 2, you can coin up, and you can start. So this is going to be player 4, so player 4 could start a game. You see the little basketballs filling in. Now we're going to go to jump to player 3. Player 3 is now playing, and then we have player 2 just jumped in. You see the little basketballs, and now we're going to have player 1 just jump in. We're going to say no to the record keeping, so we could just jump in the game. We're going to straight up just go on any teams here. And do some random teams. And these guys, all we do is we got to push the top button, the little turbo button for each one of these guys. And we're going to be playing as player 3 over here really quick, so you can see how this guy moves around. So going up and down, left and right. You can see this guy just moving around and doing stuff, so that's cool. Well, we got a shot clock violation. All right, so when I run through, all right. So player 4, we're going to run through, take a shot, boom, right on. So there you go. So with this system, being that it has this configuration, it's really cool to be able to play it on the system. But I would recommend using or sending out the signal from this guy to a wall-mounted TV, just so you guys can be able to play it without everybody looking down and kind of getting disoriented. It would be kind of crazy. But and the other thing is that the design of the cabinets that we're going to have to be making here in the next couple, I guess, weeks or months, is that we're going to be adding this control panel on an angle here, so you can play 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can have a giant control panel that could accommodate this system, and you could actually play it on the screen. And that'll be another deal, another issue that we could do, another system that we could do. So that'll be cool. There's so many different things we could do. If you could dream it up, we could design it. If you have any ideas, if you guys have your own ideas and plans to make a machine, send them in, and we can make it for you. And again, it's really cool. You could do a lot of things. Here's another thing, a really fun deal that we have, is to have this Xbox remote. You could literally control this entire machine with this Xbox 360 or Xbox One remote. And what we're gonna do is press. I think it's. Oh, I gotta escape here. And you can see here that we can adjust the menu with the controller, going up and down. And what's neat about this, guys, there's games like PlayStation, Neo Geo, and even the arcade games. You could play even the Nintendo Wii U. I mean, all these games are on here, and they're completely available to on the system. And all you got to do is pick out a game. There's games on here. There's Windows games. So we're going to press the A button here. We're going to jump in. See Angry Birds, you got Doom, Donkey Kong, you have Double Dragon Neon, Fix It Felix Jr., you have Halo 2, Minecraft, Mega Man 8, Mortal Kombat. There's a bunch of stuff, and there's tons of grids in here. Skullgirls. All the Street Fighters. I think Street Fighter 5 is in here. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. There's quite a few games, and these are just the PC games. And to enter and get out of the games, you can just press the button here. You also have slot machine games. Slot machine games, PopCap games, so like whatever games you could find on like your iPad and that. Bejeweled, here's Bejeweled. There's a couple other games on here. You could find Plants vs. Zombies. There was just a whole bunch of games on here that you could play. So that's really neat. So there's a little jukebox. Magazines, vintage commercials. That's really cool. There's a lot of little details to this guy. All the Atari games. So there's the console has the Atari console, the 2600 and the 5200 and the 7800. And it has every game for every system for each one of those systems. It has Intellivision, ColecoVision, Odyssey, the Odyssey Magnavox 2, which is was the first system we ever had growing up. Has Future Pinball, Visual Pinball. You could play all these games using the keyboard. And you could also program the buttons to play that. So that's really neat. You have these games. I mean, there's some of these systems, like Super Graphics, that only came out in Japan. Very, very rare console. It's one of my favorites. And you get the Game Boy Colors. You have every system in here. So let's say the Game Boy, jump into this guy. So it has every system or every game ever made for the Game Boy in one. And we talked about, there you go. Check out some Beavis and Butthead. And it's really cool. The art, the artwork, the finish of the artwork, it gives you a little bit of information and where it came from. It gives you this little readout for Game Boy. You can jump in and out of it. You can do so many different things and be able to play the game. Oh, and another thing I noticed is that sometimes you got to move the screen. So you right click on this guy, and you have to move it over. So there's also a zoom in, so you can zoom in the image all the way in. So you just use the TV remote to zoom it all in, and it looks nice. So that's really cool. So I'm gonna jump out. I gotta press start and coin at the same time to jump out of the game. When you're in the game, if you press these two buttons at the same time, you go kind of dump it there, it'll jump you out of a game. So it has all the Nintendo 64, Nintendo DS games. And how do you play the Nintendo DS? A lot of people ask, how do you play that if you don't have the stencil, the little pencil stencil thing? Well, what you do is you use the trackball. The trackball and the right-click mouse button here, you're able to go in there and click away and figure out what's good. You could you have a lot of different systems. Virtual Boy's in there. I mean, there's so much stuff. The Wii and Wii U is going to be fun. Triforce, that's where your Mario Kart's going to be in, and that's going to be fun to play. The Sega 32X, Dreamcast, Game Gear. I mean, there's so many game systems. Neo Geo, PlayStation, and again, every game for every system. So whatever system you see on here, it has every game for every system, with the exception of PlayStation 2. It does not have every game and or PSP. Those are the newer games, and they take up so much space, it's not even funny. So those are the two that we do not have every single game for. The 3DO's in there, which was extremely hard to find back in the old days. It wasn't even hard to find. It was just extremely expensive. I think it was like $1,200 for just the console. And we're back to MAME. So we have a couple tools here. We actually have a toolkit. It shows you how to jump in and out. You have problems with sound issues. You can actually fix game sounds. You can check out resolutions, turn off Xbox remotes, use PS4 remotes, start driving. Just a bunch of little stuff here, a bunch of little tools to be able to get the machine up and going if something happens. And it's really cool. So hopefully this tutorial kind of helped you guys. If you guys have any questions, let us know. And again, with Arcade Funkade, check us out on arcadefunkade.net. We have these machines readily available on arcadefunkade.net. We now make them with just the 2 players, but we can now make it a 4-player, and we can make a stand-up or a sit-down of your choice with 55,000 games, and you could play every system and have a massive library. The idea is to have a massive library. A lot of people say it's overkill to have that many games, and yes, it seems like it's a lot of games until people come over and start asking about having specific, very obscure games And when we don't have them, we feel kind of funny, being that we're you have a arcade that you're thinking, oh, I should have every game, being that the technology is advanced so much. So what we've literally done is taken old technology and kind of married it with the new stuff. So now we have an all new computer system, all new cabinets, all new electronics, wiring, everything. So we warranty these guys for 2 years. So anything and everything that could possibly go wrong with these guys, we can handle. So if you guys have any questions or any problems, we can repair on the go. Sometimes we could do team viewer and check out your computer from our office. So that's really neat. And these machines are very, very complicated, and at the same time, they've been completely simplified. It's taken us 10, 12 years to get to this point, and to have this style of machine run at its peak. Right now, it's running at its peak performance. The system runs extremely fast. The games play perfect. There's no sound issues, video lag. Everything's working the way they're supposed to. And in our experience, we've experienced a lot of different game systems and different companies of people just bringing in the other competitors' machines, and we've had to repair them because they just have they say they have tons of games, but they just don't work, or they have duplicates, like 15, 20 different games for the same in the same listing. So if you have like Gauntlet per se, or like even Ghouls and Ghosts, there's like 20 different Ghouls and Ghosts when you just want to play one. And so then they count that. So they say they have 300,000 games, but they really have maybe 10,000, 20,000 games. And again, this guy has about 55,000 games, tons of games, and they're all ready to play. And anyway, if you guys have any questions, let us know. Again, check us out at arcadefuncade.net, arcadefuncade.com. And if you want to drop a line, give us a call at 402-641-4042 or text us. You could also email us at arcadefuncade@gmail.com. And feel free to comment and let us know what we can do better, or if you guys have an idea for a machine, let us know. There's so many cool things. We do a lot of R&D, and we do a lot of designing, and we redesigning. So if people have any ideas of something they have in mind that they want to put into play and make a reality, let us know. We'll make it happen for you. We could do any kind of graphic, full wraps, whatever you guys like. And you guys design it. We have designers around the country that help us out with that, and you guys can work with them. So if you guys have any questions, again, let us know. It was a pleasure showing you guys this machine. Thank you for watching. You guys have a great day, and this is Dan with Arcade Funcade. Take care.